June 3rd is celebrated globally as World Bicycle Day. And today, at the Story Atlas, we have a personal story from one of our supporters. I have always loved bicycles. Some of my happiest childhood memories involve riding one. When I was in 3rd grade in Butwal, my parents bought me a bicycle with training wheels. We lived in office housing, and I spent hours riding it on the terrace. I was determined to learn on my own. Eventually, I figured out how to ride without the training wheels. Although I could only go in circles. Whenever I tried to go straight, I would wobble and lose my balance. The funny thing is that my bicycle never touched an actual road while we lived in Butwal. After my father's older brother, who lived in Biratnagar, passed away, our family moved there. It was a difficult time for everyone, and living together seemed like the best way for us to support one another. A few weeks after we arrived, my bicycle finally made its way to our new home. I remember being so excited. I got on it and started riding down the street. To my surprise, I rode straight without failing and without falling. It felt like magic. Somehow, between leaving Butwal and arriving in Biratnagar, I had come to become a real bike rider. Riding through the streets of Biratnagar felt like a full circle moment. I was born there, but when I left as a child, I didn't know how to ride a bicycle. Now I was back, confidently pedaling down the same streets on my own. It may seem like a small achievement, but to me, it felt significant. For the next 2 years, that bicycle was my little source of freedom. After school, I would ride around the neighborhood, feeling the warm summer breeze on my face. I felt grown up, independent. Years later, after finishing my +2, I started my first tutoring job. Part of my pay included money for taxi fare. But back then, taking a taxi felt extravagant. In my mind, taxis were for rich people, and I certainly wasn't one of them. Instead, I started dreaming about owning another bicycle. One of my friends listened to me talk about it so often that she finally said, "Just buy the bike already." She even offered me an interest-free loan. In fact, she practically pushed the money into my hands and told me to pay her back whenever I could. So I bought the bicycle. To some people, it may have looked like an ordinary bike. To me, it was much more than that. It was the first thing I bought with my money I earned myself. Every time I rode it through the streets of Kathmandu, I felt proud. I wasn't riding my parents' bicycle anymore. I wasn't the little girl wobbling in circles on the terrace anymore. The bicycle was mine. I even brought a helmet to go with it. Together, they became my first big girl purchase. Looking back, I realized that the bicycle was never just a way to get from one place to another. It was a symbol of freedom, independence, and possibility. It reminded me that I could earn my own money, make my own decisions, and take myself wherever I wanted to go. And for a young girl who once struggled to ride in a straight line, that felt like big dreams come true. If you have a personal story and you would like to share it to the world, the Story Atlas is here to bring it to life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.